Hey, do you want to keep the flavor as a secret, or do you want to see it? Okay. Let's make sure it's in the right places.
Are you here for NRSC?
Yeah.
You can come on in. Good. I don't know if it's structured.
Yeah, I don't really. It's kind of sometimes did.
But yeah, now it tends to slam shut. Does this door ever pop open? Grant? Just use a chair.
Here.
We'll just use this chair for now.
Get right in the middle and see how acrobatic people can be. Climb it in.
What is your name?
Sarah.
Sarah. I'm Rachel.
Rachel. Great. How are things going with the new job?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Starting to catch on. Still learning a
It's
lot.
nice when it finally feels a little like, okay, I know the people, I know.
Yeah, definitely still learning a lot. I feel like you have to give yourself like 6 months.
Right? You're like, as long as everybody else is patient with me, and, you know, get on board.
Yeah. How long have you been on NRSC?
Since the beginning. It was actually my idea.
Oh, really?
The committee was, yeah. So,
So I don't know when it started.
it was approved, in June of 2016. And then we first started January of 2017. So we,
That's awesome.
got committee members. Anyway, so,
What do you do?
well, I used to be more involved over the past several years. I did some social media stuff.
Mhm.
I'm creating some presentations for like when we present in city council and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
trying to present on like renewable energy, a variety of things, but I just started graduate school, and so
Oh, how's that going?
I'm like, maybe I should rotate off the committee, or
Mhm.
you know, and they're like, well, it's okay if you like are a little bit less involved right now. So,
What are you studying?
international affairs,
Okay, cool.
some emphasis in environmental diplomacy. So,
That's awesome.
anyway,
Yeah,
it's something. So,
that's interesting. Yeah, I have a friend who's trying to get into that
oh, really?
like,
Okay.
career path.
Yeah,
Wants to
yeah.
Go like live at the embassy.
I was gonna say work for the
abroad.
State Department. Yeah, yeah. If I were younger and like not as attached, I
It's
might
hard to get
look
into.
at, yeah. But I'm old now, so you know, hey, I hear a lot of my peers are like starting to look at that like retirement date, and I'm like, I'm just getting started. This is depressing. Anyway.
Yeah, I feel like everyone here is like 3 years away from retiring or 2.
Right? It's gonna be a
I have
big
no idea.
overhaul, right?
I'm just starting.
Hey, Darren, I have to leave early for a kid's concert. Would it be okay if I just,
You're off the
briefly.
committee.
all right,
That's
well,
what
I
you
guess
want.
that's a load off now.
It would be okay, what?
If I just
Yeah.
made an announcement at the beginning, and I can, I'll send the link to everybody now.
Of course.
If I could just make that announcement, and then,
Yep.
thank you.
Mhm.
Matt is sick today, so he's gonna join us online.
Okay.
But it's not COVID.
Oh,
Okay.
he already had COVID, didn't he?
Yeah, I believe so.
Sorry,
What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. How are you? I'm Darren. You probably know that because you're better with names than I am, I bet.
No,
But-
I just send you guys emails.
But you send my emails, and so that's why you know me, right? You know that too. But okay. So let's see here. So are you full time here, Rachel? Then?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
am. I replaced Jake.
So what's your main thing that you do?
Associate planning, mostly answer like current planning questions, zoning questions. I do
Oh.
building, a lot of reviews of building permits and like the bigger project.
No. Are you up to speed on all that? That sounds like a lot of.
Not quite, but I'm catching on.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I inherited a lot of projects.
Hello, stranger. I wasn't sure if you were gonna come tonight, if you're getting ready for the big night.
What can you do?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna miss it. I always love that kind of stuff. So,
You're one of a kind.
You? Yeah, I was.
There is about.
somebody's got to, right?
There's about
guess so.
a 0.5% part of the over 40 population that likes it.
You'd
part-
be
And
entertaining.
zero under?
Well,
Is that what you were going for there?
it's not a zero, but it's
It might as well be zero, you know.
they have things to do.
Yeah, we got stuff to do.
dates and
Yeah,
jobs.
yeah. Yeah.
But that said, I'm expected to go start setting up by 5:30.
Oh boy.
So anything
We're
that
losing people.
I know, hopefully we have,
anything that you need me to do,
Okay.
I would like to do in the first. That's all right.
Okay.
I already asked this
We
Oh,
thing.
you
need
did?
four
So I was
to
like, I gotta
start,
leave
right,
early.
Matt?
Hi Matt, how are you? I hear you're sick. I'm sorry to hear that. Let's see, do we need 3 for a quorum? Can
Yeah.
anybody remember? I think we need 3.
Yeah.
So we're there. I mean, sadly, we've got a lot on the agenda, and is it okay if I start then? Maybe I should just start.
Let's confirm this.
Right.
Matt, can I start?
Yep, absolutely. Apologize I'm not with you, but you don't want this little head cold thing, so I'm keeping you
Okay.
safe.
Can we turn it up a little bit?
Yeah. And thank you, sorry.
Can you guys hear me all right?
And are you ready, Rachel?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and start then. I might rearrange some of the agenda items a little bit because Quinn and Sarah have to leave early. And so I'd like to prioritize the stuff that they're involved with. The main thing, Quinn, for you that I'd like to make sure we're on the same page as is the sustainability awards.
Yeah.
I don't recall that you ever
Responded.
yeah.
You know, but it's on my mind.
Okay.
Matt, thank you for helping to facilitate that. How about the first meeting in November? First city council meeting in November. That would give us 4 weeks or so.
Or you remember the context, Chair Matt? We're just looking for a
Yeah.
city council.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
We can.
Yeah, so I will put in a request for that.
Which is the 9th of November.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that. Were you able to pick up the awards okay, Matt?
Not yet. Sitting right
Okay.
near the top of my list.
Yeah.
And one more thing on this agenda item. Am I point person, I don't know we ever confirmed this, am I point person to reach out to our awardees and let them know? I don't want to replicate your efforts, Matt, if you're doing that. But
I am not doing that.
Okay. So I will reach out to the managers of both those, and I was waiting to make sure we had a date. And are we comfortable with me telling them the date, or do we need to wait for you?
I would just say tentatively, and that will confirm it as soon as I know.
Thank you.
That sounds like a good solution. Okay, great. So we will finally, oh, hi, Hillary. Welcome.
I think I'm outside, but the door is locked. Is that true?
Oh,
Which door are you
they've
at?
been having troubles with the locks.
I mean,
Okay, let me come and get you.
Yeah, the door locks haven't been working today.
Well, let's wait for a minute.
We haven't met yet.
I'm Rachel. Get to
Welcome.
know
I
me.
saw you on the email chain.
Yeah, she's the new Jake. Where are you from, Rachel?
Air Force,
Oh, awesome.
so around.
Yeah.
You guys both from Utah?
I'm from Salt Lake originally. Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah. What landed you in Orem?
I went to BYU.
Oh, awesome.
What did you do there?
I studied planning.
Oh,
That's why I'm here.
in geography department?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's what my daughter wants to do. She's what is it called? Urban planning? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's awesome.
Oh, good. Good.
Highly recommend.
When did you graduate?
Just last December.
Oh.
Really? So you were there during the upheaval,
Yes.
and I'm glad you graduated.
Did you survive okay?
Yeah, it was all good.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you guys do?
We both teach political science, so
Um,
we're in the same building, just a floor above.
very cool.
Geography is 6th floor, we're 7th.
Yeah.
So,
It was kind of a mess that last semester.
yeah, we're locked out of here.
Those are the
Thank
coolest
you.
earrings. I was noticing those
Oh, thank
on
you.
your phone.
You know, when you're in like Zoom Teams meeting all day, that's nice of that.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Okay, great. So we were just chatting while you were away, getting to know.
You solved all the world's problems. you
We
wanted.
did, it's done, getting to know Rachel a little bit, and her getting to know us maybe. Okay, good. So, and yeah, I forgot, Paul joins us 15 minutes late by Zoom, I believe, because he has that class that overlaps a little bit. Okay, so to catch you up, we just talked about doing the actual awards for our stewardship, sustainability winners, and we're scheduling that for a city council meeting in early November. Yeah. So glad to see that we are, that's taken a while. Hopefully next year we can do it more quickly, now that we've done it once through.
On that topic, I do have a request from the administration that going forward, these awards are done in conjunction with your annual report. So I don't know if that means that you want to restart the cycle now and prepare for 2022 or have it go out a year. So
Did I understand that right? The next time we get to make those awards is in January?
Well, we've done our report normally like in March.
In March.
Usually.
March. Then why don't we just get on it and just do it in March?
Should we do it?
We can get on it then.
I guess we didn't get on it.
Okay,
Uh,
where's our intern when we need it?
I was gonna say, you were in charge of that, and you're pretty dang busy these days. Do you feel, are you using a royal we there? I need to get on it, or is your we referring to me?
I will, it's not referring to you.
Is it referring to the
It is
committee?
referring to the committee, but I recognize that at some point. So I might ask for some help, but we'll be fine.
We could pass that to someone else. I could possibly, let's see. Yeah, I could help with this, Quinn.
Thank you.
Uh,
Why don't I,
We help with what?
getting our awards ready for next year?
Yeah,
Because we're on a tighter timeline to try to get them done by March.
right. Yeah, so that's what's happening here, is that we either do them right now and get them ready for March, or we,
Like the second
Wait.
round, you mean start? now.
yes,
Right.
right, the next round, right. Or we wait a year, or we do them on our own and just try to invite someone from the city council instead of having.
We could use the opportunity for when we're presenting the awards in November. If we do, I don't know, social media or
To
whatever,
advertise.
to say, hey, look, this is who was recognized this year. We're ready to, to find some more businesses.
I like the idea of trying to do it in March.
Okay,
Yes.
And I know that you've talked to one business that we think is a good candidate.
that's true,
So we may already have one in the pipeline.
that's true.
So
It may not be too hard. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay, how about we put a timeline for that on our agenda for next month?
okay,
Is that okay?
very good, great. Okay, are you hearing us well, Matt, or not?
yep.
Okay, good. So it sounds like we're going to shoot for March, and we will shoot for, getting this underway here soon. Okay, another agenda item is the do you want to do yours, Sarah, since you got to leave early?
Sure. So the Utah Valley Growth and Prosperity Summit is kind of joint sponsored by the Utah Valley Chamber of Commerce and Utah Valley University and a lot of other people. Anyway, a lot of big players. Former governor and the governor will both be there at some point. President Tumans will be speaking. Anyway, so there's going to be a couple of plenary sessions and then some breakout sessions. And I got lucky enough to snag a spot as a panelist on one of the breakout sessions. But so this is kind of the first of this format of summit. They're hoping to get like 500 people in person and then more online. But there will be breakout sessions on like transportation, housing, health, and education and workforce. So, and then at the end, there's going to be like a signing of the Utah Valley Growth and Prosperity Compact. So, $20 comes with breakfast and lunch. If you can make it, great. If you can't, please pass it along. City folks, I don't know what opportunities you have to participate in these kinds of summits, but it should be a good time. I just emailed everybody the link for the registration, and yeah, I think that's it. So let me know if you have any questions.
Okay. Dates and.
Oh, right.
Is it in the same place as the Utah Lake?
No, it's going to be at the Norda Theater.
Okay.
And it's on October 28th.
That's a Thursday, I just checked.
UVU is so good at making a good sense about this.
Yeah, they really are impressive.
So they're anticipating that this will be an annual event. And so we're hoping to continue to incorporate sustainability features
Is that the panel you're on? Is like
the panel I'm on is natural resources.
Nice.
But yeah, so I will be advocating for the county sustainability coalition and trying to recruit more representation from the cities around the county.
Excellent.
So
Well done, Sarah.
It would be nice to see what they're going to sign.
I actually am on the task force that is drafting that up. I don't know if they're gonna like pre-publish that, so people can take a look at it.
It kind of depends on how they're thinking about moving forward, right?
Right. I joined the task force a little bit late and asked for, make some suggestions, some suggested changes. They incorporated a few of those. But I'm hoping that we can continue to have these conversations because obviously, I mean, it's a very business centered, it's the chambers. But if we can establish big partnerships, incorporating sustainability in that growth.
Great. Okay.
Are you part of that? It's business sustainability, Utah business sustainability.
I sometimes attend their meetings.
I'm looking to find something on that from corporate people who are interested in. You know anybody? All right. We're trying to start a new environmental studies program at UVU. I have this idea that we should try to make it so kids can like get some sort of corporate sustainability
Cool.
type job type thing.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay.
But that's a way to pitch it at least.
Yeah. So I'm going to for the next agenda item, let's talk about interview with council and mayor candidates. That obviously is not happening because I haven't notified you of anything. I was in contact with Jim Evans, who really wanted to do it, but then there was an email that got lost and we never were able to reconnect. And tonight we have the debate in any case, and a number of us individually, I think, submitted questions. So I hope that one of them will be asked. But
Do you know the format?
I don't know anything about the format. Do you?
We learned last night what the format was, which is that the first half hour is dedicated to the mayoral candidates. And I think the moderator just asks them 3 or 4 or 5 questions.
Okay.
And they get a chance to respond and debate. And then the next hour is city council. And I think the timing works out that they're only going to ask 6 questions.
Okay.
So we don't know what they will be, but I'm sure there are many more topics than 6 that can be discussed.
Okay.
Exciting, good luck.
So along these lines, I did talk with the mayor about, you remember he wrote this editorial with President Tuminez, and another local mayor or two about the need for better transportation systems in Utah Valley. And we, of course, have an interest in transportation to the extent that it intersects with sustainability. So I talked to the mayor about this, and we had about a 45-minute conversation. You know, he thinks that rapid transit kinds of things are quite far down the road. That was his impression. Yeah, that they require just tons of money, and he didn't really see that as a viable kind of a thing to happen in Orem in the next few years. Which made me think that maybe we need to talk to UTA independently and see what they are thinking about.
Didn't they just have that survey recently about their proposed transportation or transit plans? Because there was in the plan something about like another BRT down State Street.
There was, and I remember something
So I
about
think-
BRT down State Street.
I think that's still.
Yeah, it's definitely in the plan. It's on the radar. I would expect BRT on the State Street to be under construction in 5 to 10 years.
Okay.
And what
If
is
you're
our,
looking for 2 years, that's probably not going to be the situation.
what is our relationship like with, is it UDOT that we have to coordinate with on that?
Well, it's a multi project between UTA and UDOT mostly because UDOT owns State Street. And it would be a UTA project on UDOT right away. But
They care what we
moving the existing timeline is not going to be. We're not going to have a lot of influence on that.
Yeah.
A lot of it has to do with federal budgets and funding and just what other projects they have in gear in the master plan for the next 10 years before they get to that line item.
I'm happy to hear that it's 5 to 10 years. Talking to the mayor, he made it sound like longer. So actually, what you said is relatively good news. Thank you, Matt. We would be happy to be involved in this in any fashion, but you know, maybe now is not the time.
Well, what I think I would do is I can get you more information about the situation and just get you more plugged into what the truth is for now, and then you can decide what you want to do with that.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds helpful, Matt. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
The other thing the mayor recommended is actually something that is more actionable, which is that he was talking about how the Granite School District has retrofitted its buses to eliminate a lot of emissions. Did you know this, Sarah? You're our most school-oriented person.
I thought it was several years ago that there was a
Maybe
bill
it's
in
been
the
a while.
legislature and funds attached to that to retrofit a lot of the school buses to reduce emissions, but I don't know where that stands, how much progress has been made on that. But I know that every year the legislature is talking, it has money towards clean air projects, and that was one from several years ago.
Okay.
So yeah, again, I don't know where that's from.
Okay. Well, again, the mayor had a little bit different understanding. He seemed to think that Granite District had acted more on its own. Maybe he doesn't know. Anyway, that's something we could also maybe look into, I guess, is if there's a way to push forward that. Okay, well, I just kind of reporting back on my conversation with the mayor and his transportation concerns. And I'm happy to look more into this bus retrofitting thing. Now that I know what you've told me, and I'll see if there's something there that we could help advance.
Or it was that, or it was some kind of anti-idling project, or both.
Okay.
But it was something with school buses and clean air.
Okay, I will look into this. Another agenda item here is the Crandall Orchard Conservation Easement, which we had a very successful city council meeting where we got full support for the idea. And thank you, Matt, for your efforts here. And welcome, Paul. I see you've joined us now. That's great. And I also noticed that, you know, I haven't like formally calculated it, but there were like 850 likes on Facebook about this, which must be about 30 times the average Facebook engagement of a typical city post. So this seems like a very, very popular thing to do indeed. And there was much, there were many, many comments that were all positive. Only one or two asking, a couple of people asked questions, which I thought was, they had good questions. Same thing happened on Instagram. So lots of local support for this, and the Crandalls are very gratified by that. We have missed the deadline for applying for the state grant because we had to show local support, and it has been difficult to get local support. Mostly because Senator Bramble has suggested that he may not support it. So we're still working on that. In the meantime, we are looking at alternative funding sources because the state is not the only possible funding source. There is a federal program that we are investigating. The federal program certainly has much more money available and has fewer restrictions about how much they can donate. So we are looking into that. We have been working with Utah Open Lands because they are involved with this, but they are reluctant to do, the Crandalls want to start with just a third of their property because they do not, they have family obligations for the other 2/3 where they have to check, and they own 1/3 outright. And Utah Open Lands is reluctant to begin fundraising with just a 1/3 commitment. They would like to see the full thing before they start fundraising. I have also contacted Conserve Utah Valley, which is a new nonprofit, very energetic. It's sprung up around the preservation of Bridal Veil Falls. They are quite interested in helping fundraise for this and helping use their social media and outreach people for this. And so I have further conversations with them coming up. So there's, in fact, a Monday morning, 7:20 a.m. meeting. It's a very eager board. So anyway, that's just kind of an update on what's going on there.
Thanks for driving that, Jared.
Yeah.
You put in a lot of work.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm loving it actually. I'm having a great time.
That's awesome.
And I see this as a very helpful, I think this will have helpful spillover effects. As we get to know people, we build relationships, because this is such an easy win. Everybody is in favor of this. And we will meet people, we will build alliances, we'll build understandings. That's what I'm really looking forward to out of this process. So I don't think we need to discuss anything else there unless there are any further questions about that. Now that Paul has joined us, let's talk about the most pressing item, which is the design Heritage Park. Quinn and I and Paul were all able to go to the open house. I know you weren't, Sarah, and you didn't make it either. We all saw each other there, but rest assured, Matt, we did not talk to each other other than to say, I can't talk to you. So thank you.
We did talk to the same people,
We did.
but not to each other.
Not to each other. That's true.
Well, just a
Anyway.
clarification, you're fine to talk to each other. It's just if you formed a group that formed a quorum. So
Well, there were three of us. There were three of us there, and we were in danger of standing close to each other. And so I moved away when Paul came up.
well, and my general advice on these things is to just be above reproach, as the scripture would say. So
And that's why I moved away. Paul, I did not think you leprous or anything of the sort. Anyway, I had a very good time. I enjoyed talking to people and felt like we accomplished a lot. But Paul, do you want to give your point of view on this first?
Oh yeah, I felt like it was a nice open house. There was pretty good turnout there. There were quite a few people from the community, and my my feel was that the designers were very open to feedback and very eager to please. We definitely want to know what the community wants, what the city wants, and they had some pretty great ideas. And yeah, I think all three of us probably communicated some similar sort of ideas independently, because when I would talk to people, they'd say, "Oh yeah, we heard some of this before. It's a great idea." So they basically had two designs for the park that they had set out. One of them was a fenced area around the water tank, which is similar to what we saw at Sago Lily Park, and the other would be unfenced. But both of them would basically have rocks and things like that over the tank itself, but around the perimeter, drought tolerant sort of landscaping, and then possibly some what did they call it, heritage or historical markers, and then also some space for educational sort of markers. And I basically gave them the thumbs up on that idea and said, yeah, we think that, you know, some educational signage would be awesome. Maybe something about some of the water-wise landscaping opportunities like Flip Your Strip that residents might want to learn more about, but also have some of that heritage signage because that's also valuable. They also had a couple of different designs for the pump house. Those looked largely aesthetic. There's a barn choice and a train station choice, but the pump house works the same either way.
Quinn has to go soon because he's involved in making Orem even better, and has a debate to get to here soon. Quinn, do you want to share what your impression was and what you shared with the designers?
Yeah, I thought, I was optimistic that it was pretty good. I was not convinced that we need a fence on top after several queries. The sense there is that it's being made of concrete and buried quite below the surface, that maybe security risks are not as strong as I had initially suspected. And they even proposed some walking paths around the top. I shared that a desire to include a lot more educational stuff, like we saw at Sago Lily, but somewhere between a field trip site and a public enjoyment site. So less field trippy than Sago Lily, I think, but more informative than they currently have envisioned. I think the good news is that they haven't actually figured out what they're gonna do with signage or anything around that yet, and that they're still out in Crandall. So, that was my feeling.
Yeah, we were able to talk to the chief architect / planner, and he seemed very interested in our ideas. You know, he made it clear that this would not be a demonstration garden. That's what that's what Sigalily is. And we're fine with that, I think, right? We're not asking for a demonstration garden, but we kind of floated the idea that, Paul, you mentioned that there was a section assigned for education. And Quinn, I liked your point that, we don't need to assign a particular section for education. We could scatter the education throughout and he seemed, this seemed like a new idea to him, right? Because it seemed like he's more used to thinking of, okay, it's either a demonstration garden or it's a public retreat kind of area. And yeah, we were kind of selling him on something in between, where there might be some signage and some examples, but they wouldn't be the primary focus. He seemed quite open to that, I thought. And he took quite a few notes and shared his card with me and invited us to follow up with an email. And gave me the name as well of the landscape architect whose job it would be more to. So Keith is the principal of the consulting engineer here, but Jamie is the landscape architect who is in charge of this. So I think maybe we should draft an email or a document that says a couple of these things, and send it on to him and her, and get their feedback. Does that sound like a useful next step? Now, the other thing to do, maybe.
Sorry,
Yeah, you got to run. We'll see you, Clint.
Yeah.
Good luck. Yeah. Hooray for.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Hooray for civic duty.
Hooray for. Hooray for stewardship is what I was going to say, but hooray for civic duty too. The other thing is, do we want to, draft something that we would forward to the council, to the city council, where we would say, we would hope that the plan would include some educational component. It could be as simple as that, maybe. So work with the architect or work with the city council or both. Any thoughts on this?
Matt, are we restricted on?
Sorry, I had a big distraction here. What was the question?
So the question is, previously, we planned to communicate directly with the architect because he invited us to. And but previously, Matt, you had sent me an email that another appropriate method to communicate on this is to just give a recommendation to the city council. So if we wanted to, it could be a very simple recommendation. We recommend, because I think we're fine with the plans, we would just recommend an educational component to this.
Yeah.
Or is that, we don't even need to do that? We should just talk directly with the architect about that?
No, I'd suggest you make a formal recommendation to the council. The council's had a lot of input on this, and basically the administration is taking final plans back to them for their blessing. So again, I would recommend a recommendation to the council. Now, I would be happy to CC as I forward that on to the administration and request that they share that with the design team now, or we could just CC them on it.
Yeah.
But I would still draft it as a recommendation to the council that, they could bring up to the council, or the council could bring up with them.
Okay, perfect.
So there was going to be an orchard component, and then the rest of the plantings are water-wise?
I think they're still working this out.
Okay.
So I think that,
I'm just wondering if in that recommendation, if we want to also encourage water-wise
local
landscaping.
scaping, yes, I think so. So I would, I would favor this. I would favor a two-track approach here. One where we communicate directly with the architect at their invitation, and a second where we make a formal recommendation to the city council. And in that recommendation, we say we would like the landscaping to emphasize water-wise, local scaping, and have an educational component. Does that sound right? Cool. Paul, what would you like your role to be in this? Would you like to draft both an email or maybe communicate directly yourself with the architect if I passed on the email, and draft a resolution or a statement for the city council?
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. What's the time frame?
Well, I think we're on a faster train now than we used to be. So I think we ought to contact the architect within 2 weeks, maybe 10 days. And I think we ought to do the same to the city council. So I think we ought to have something drafted within the week and then have an email agreement on it within the next few days after that. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, I asked because I'll be out of town traveling starting tomorrow and won't be back until the 16th.
Well, I think I'd be happy to draft it up based off a motion. If you just made the motion right now and include what you want to say, I can draft it up and send it on.
Okay, let's do that. I move that we recommend that the city council let's see, what's the word here? We recommend that the city council support water-wise local scaping, or whatever word works there. I like the word local scaping, but I realize that may not be in wide use. So
what I can do is, because that is the preferred word from the conservation districts, I can reference that, and then I can reference where that word comes from and what it means.
Okay, thank you. So again, I move that we suggest that the city council strongly support a landscape design that is local scaped, and that include important educational components, though we do not envision demonstration gardens.
You say that last part again, incorporate.
We do not envision incorporate important educational components through signage and physical examples.
Okay.
And then, just to be clear, we are not recommending a demonstration garden, but
okay,
some elements of education would be helpful. Something like that.
All right. Darren, I will pass language off by you.
Okay.
Before I send it on, but if you make a motion and vote on that. I mean, you
Okay.
made a motion.
I move.
I'll second.
Second. And everybody was okay with what I said, those words as they came out? Okay.
Was that second Hillary?
There is a second.
Sarah.
I'm sorry, Sarah seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. Okay. And so, Paul, maybe I will reach out to the project manager as just kind of a first step, remind him that I met him, copy you and Quinn, and you know, kind of reiterate our idea and ask if we can talk directly to the landscape architect. Does that sound
Yeah, that sounds great.
Would you mind sharing that email? I would also like to
Sure.
reach out. I mean,
Yeah. You can have it now if you like.
from here, I'll just take a picture.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, great. Anything else along this line then? Okay, I think we might be done with that. Thank you, Paul. You've done a really nice job sort of taking the lead here and helping us think about this. And I'm really pleased to be involved at this level, and I love what's happening here. So
No, me
thank you
too. Thanks for all you're doing too. It's exciting.
yes. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the rain harvest using the barrel collection system. So at our last meeting, we had questions, and I sent on the questions, and we got answers, and the answers were helpful. I have forgotten what the questions and answers were. And I forgot to check this one. I've been so involved in the other stuff that I'm doing that I forgot to check this. So maybe we should remember. And I think that, let's see, who was it? Didn't somebody say that the council does have an interest in? Yeah, the mayor is interested, said Debbie, right? So on Tuesday, September 14th, oh, maybe she just sent this to me. So this is news to others. Debbie told me the mayor is interested and wants more information on the rain barrel project. So that's cool. That's good news. So, and I just kind of put that on the back burner and thought, okay, well, let's talk to the committee again. And okay, here we go. How many barrels would be available was one of our questions. And how much will it cost the city? What happens to the unsold barrels? And is there a possibility of setting up a demonstration rain barrel? And they offered very helpful answers to all those things. And so I think that maybe the next step is to put together a proposal that Orem City consider sponsoring a rain barrel program, and together with a kind of a Q&A about what it's all about and how much it will cost. And does that sound like the right next step?
Yeah, sounds great. I like it.
Okay. Would Sarah or Hillary, would either one of you like to take the lead on that, or?
I'm not interested in doing it.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can do it.
I mean, I
Are
can
you
if
okay?
I'm forced to do it, but I'm
Okay.
not.
It's not your thing.
It's not your thing. It's more my thing than her thing. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a reduce, reuse, recycle kind of person at heart, aren't you? And this fits
I'm a
that.
skeptic.
okay. Then, yeah, I can.
So I
We
don't
can
think
do
it'll
it
be too
together,
hard.
but yeah.
I think that I can just forward you this email
Okay.
again.
Good.
And I think that, I think that the main thing is to make it all orderly,
Yeah.
right? And to say, this is the program, this is who sponsors it, this is what it costs the city, this is
Okay.
how it works.
Sounds good.
And,
Like reviews, I can support you.
Yeah.
okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I had forgotten that you were the one.
I mean, I'll do it still.
I was
Okay.
mostly just interested in not doing everything,
Oh, yeah.
so.
No, I was like, Darren shouldn't have to do this one too.
So
I mean,
thank you,
we can
Sarah.
take notes.
And yes, Sarah, you did, this is perfect. I will forward you all the information I have. You can put it into a fact sheet.
Okay.
Now, we probably, if we're going to recommend this as a committee, we probably ought to also have a motion on this. That we put together a proposal that the city consider participating in the rain barrel program in the way that has been outlined to us by the Rivers Council in written materials and in our meetings. Okay, so I will move that since I was the one that said it. Is there a second? Okay, let me repeat. Okay, so my motion is that we recommend to the city council that Orem consider participating, or we recommend the city council that Orem participate in the rain barrel program like other communities across the Wasatch Front, as it is sponsored by the Natural Rivers, Utah Rivers Council. Yeah, was that?
That's
Okay.
great.
Yep.
Oh, I second.
Second. Okay. All in favor?
I
Aye. Okay.
I support you.
So Sarah will put together that language. Matt will put together the other language, and we will proceed. Okay, great. I think, what else do we have on the agenda here? We got the Crandalls, the Heritage Park, the Rain Harvest, the Sustainability, oh, the Community Renewable Energy Act. I thought that I would put that on the agenda still. I am not too hopeful of what we can do here. But I thought I would see if anybody had any other energy and ideas.
At this point, I don't see that we have received sufficient vigorous support for this. And obviously after the election, we could always sit down with, new candidates and just kind of see where people are. And then that can inform next steps. But as it is, we haven't had sufficient exuberant support for this.
Yeah, we've discussed it with the council multiple times without strong results. I agree.
So the other opportunity is to continue to participate in the program with Rock Mountain Power, the communities. Now, what's that called? The Rocky Mountain Power Communities program.
WattSmart. WattSmart.
Yeah, the WattSmart Communities program. Thank you.
So
Our committee is one of the stakeholders on there as far as providing some input. So that is a program that the city is supporting. So perhaps we just redouble efforts in that avenue.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Sarah. We'll see you later. Okay. Well, we had a ton of agenda items, but we have successfully covered all of them. I am a little bit stunned, not quite sure what's going on. But good for us. Is there any topic we've touched on where we needed to elaborate further? Somebody has thought of something else we needed to say?
I was gonna say, tell you all about the Uvu Sustainability Week.
Okay.
And I'll send an email with more details. But it's like the week of October 18th
Cool.
There's some things on campus, and Wednesday I'm helping facilitate the Environmental Ethics Symposium. It's a yearly thing,
Okay.
and it's on Zoom this year, so anyone can join. This year, the theme is women, gender, and the environment. This
Okay.
year. We have really great speakers lined up, some UVU, also some youth activists like Next Generation. And then the leader of LDS Charities, she works a lot on women, gender, and environment in Africa. She's kind of our keynote speaker, along with one of the representatives in Salt Lake. So I'll send you the link.
Okay.
It's all live streamed on YouTube, so you can just watch it or assign it to your classes as desired.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Thank you. That's great.
And we have a sustainability plan we've been working on at UVU.
Oh, great.
We presented it to the president
Okay.
and are waiting to hear if she is approving it as kind of our direction moving forward.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so exciting things happening.
That's
in
awesome.
UVU and sustainability.
Well, as I mentioned on email, exciting things are also happening finally at BYU. We finally have a sustainability office.
But yeah, you guys have a slick video you just put out.
Yeah, they just put out a really cool video,
Great.
and they've started sponsoring events,
Oh, that's fabulous.
and
And we should coordinate.
yeah, I think that they're still looking for a director of the office or something.
Yeah.
But
We just have like a coordinator,
okay,
sustainability coordinator.
is it a faculty person or
No, it's a staff.
staff
She was
person?
hired for that, yeah.
Full time.
Yeah, she's like in facilities, so
Okay.
she's like kind of also charged with sustainability, which is her training.
Okay.
But then she ends up doing a lot of other things too.
Okay. Yeah, no, this is really exciting. In fact, it's tonight that there's this big discussion that BYU is hosting. In fact, and inviting a professor from the U on I think it's a climate change issue.
Nice.
Yeah, but everything is happening tonight, so I
Yeah, seriously, everything is happening.
wasn't sure how to figure that out.
Yeah, that's great.
Anyway, okay. Well, why don't we adjourn? Because some of us will want to watch the debate. And do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Okay. So I will count. Hillary is making the motion as Paul is seconding it, since you did it at the same time. And all in favor? Oh, can't count that until I approve the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from last time? That was a close one.
Okay, yeah, I can move
Paul,
to
okay. Hillary seconds it. All in favor of the minutes from last time?
Yeah.
Aye. Okay. And now vote. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Am I good? Okay.
Good.
And now, motion to adjourn. We just need a vote. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Thank you.
Did you make that?
No, so we assigned
Okay.
Paul the motion
Minutes.
on the minutes.
Yeah.
And Hillary the second. And Hillary the motion on adjournment and Paul the second.
Okay.
You got that?
Got that.
Okay, thank you. Well done, Rachel. And we're done.
And good luck, Quinn.
Good luck, Quinn. Yeah. I can't say that officially. We'll pass an official resolution. Good luck, Quinn, now.
Yeah.
Can I get you to sign these?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Now that they're officially approved.
Yes.
They're
And
just,
Rachel, you're a planner, is that right?
yeah. Short. Here, I'm gonna stop.
That you're
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, Matt. Bye, Paul.
Bye.
Bye.